What's going on YouTube? It's CutsbyCoast back with another video. Today I'm gonna be bringing you guys a mid taper with some dreads from my boy. Go ahead and stick around to the end. If you guys like this video, go ahead and give me a like, comment, subscribe. Stick around to the end for the finished product. For those of you who do not like Enhancement, I'm gonna just tell you the truth. It's about that last minute. The Enhancement's coming out, so you can see what it looks like before, you can see what it looks like after. But nonetheless, I think it's a good haircut, so let me know what you guys think. And here we go, fellas. This is what we starting with today. We starting with roughly probably a 3 to 4 week grown out haircut. We're gonna go ahead and start by debulking this down by taking a 1 guard with the grain and go ahead and get all the way into this cut. But for now, you know, check out my man. He just got a fresh retwist, so you gotta get the cut to go with it. Like I was saying, we're gonna go ahead and debulk the sides down, and once we do that, it gives us like a clear picture as far as to the end result, and we can create that darkness at the top of the disconnect between the dreads and the fade. Alright, so now we can go ahead and set in our bald section, and we're gonna do that in an arch shape leading towards the middle of the ear. Now we're gonna go in with the open clipper and we're gonna set this section about 1 inch high. Once we've cleaned that out, then we can go back in with the lever halfway open, almost touching the top of that line, and then the lever all the way closed at the trimmer line, so then we can effectively take the bottom line out. As you can tell, first time through it was pretty easy to do the open section, so all we have to do is take the trimmer to bald out the bottom. Now we're going to take the 1 guard all the way open, going about halfway up from what we have left, because we still want to keep the darkness at the top of the dreads while also maintaining the darkness at the hairline. We can go ahead and close that up and work our way down. Now with the 1 guard section, we don't have to do open, middle, and close, because the half guard halfway open and all the way closed is going to help us finish up that section. So what I was saying is, being that we did the 1 guard closed to debulk the side, the 1.5 guard kind of goes in perfect, and now we can go ahead and focus on cleaning up around the hairline areas, and then really just coming back to spot clean, just cutting the dark areas to make them match. And right here, we're gonna go ahead and start with the C-cup lineup. As you can tell, I'm lining him up, but it's just not crispy. So if you're one of them people that says, oh, I'm gonna use the razor anyway, it don't matter, that's cool for you. But for me, we're gonna go ahead and grab the Cocco trimmer and come in and set the hard line. You can tell immediately how much sharper it is. Like if you're one of those people that's doing like fast cuts, you ain't trying to use a razor on everybody, that would be a trimmer that makes it look like you used the razor but didn't have to. But for me, we still gonna use that razor later on. We're gonna play it safe and go with the grain to start off. We are gonna turn that over and open up this 1 guard to debulk the hairline to get everything that's hanging over so we can see where it naturally is. And you can tell I'm flicking out, and now I'm gonna pull the dreads out the way because I do not want to cut his dreads at all whatsoever. So now that that's cleaned up, we have a true scene of what the hair is and what's not overgrowth and what is, and there's not much overgrowth now that you went against the grain to clean that up. And if you notice, I am using my hand on the back of his ear essentially to pivot that trimmer to get the sharp line rather than just going in and swinging for the fences. We can kind of brace ourselves to make sure that we're not taking too much hair off. Let's go ahead and get this beard prep in. Let's pick out all the hair, making sure that the beard is all the way combed out before we start fading it. So to do a beard fade, if we're doing somebody that likes it to look a little drastic, I would at least recommend to bald it to the bottom of the ear, just so that they get that break between and it looks actually faded rather than just barely faded in. I'm sure if you have done a beard fade before and you try to keep the line high, it barely looks like you did anything. I've had personal experiences where I do a little taper on the side, and they're like, hey, can you fade the beard? And in my mind, I'm thinking, can you not tell it was faded? But for this particular client, we are just gonna go ahead and fade it a little bit more and get kind of a drastic fade look on this. And again, guys, I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you're liking it so far, go ahead and consider leaving me a like and a comment. Let me know what you do like or what you maybe don't like. But also hit that subscribe button. It just helps me build my channel, and it lets me know essentially if I'm bringing good content or not for those of you who do not comment and interact. And guys, on this side of the haircut, I messed up and I left it in autofocus rather than manual focus, so it is going in and out between my arm and the haircut. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a tutorial more on the beard part of this side. So like I said, we're gonna bald to the end, and we're gonna set about a 1-inch section of open clipper. And as I'm doing that currently, I'm just kind of debulking some of it because I know that my client does not want a very bulky beard this time around. After debulking the side, now we're gonna take a 1.5 guard and we're gonna go against the grain, almost diagonally from the mustache, because we just want to keep the goatee area super dark. And then obviously that did not finish it up, so here we are with a 1 open, and then we're gonna close it up to finish out the rest of that. And then from this angle, you can tell exactly where the other side's lined up. You can see we got a perfect shape on this beard, nice and simple, but it's still a beard. It don't have to be too light, but it don't have to be too dark as well. And always for the neck, for me, I use the gold boosted. It just hits so hard while also not pulling the hair on the neck. With the original gold Babyliss, 3-4 years ago, it would always pull at this area right here at the Adam's apple. These I have no issue, and they're so sharp. Like, I don't like to use the shaver at the bottom of the neck. I'm just not one of those people. But we did leave out hairspraying the hairline down, so we hairsprayed it and brushed it down before we could approach this lineup. Now we went to the lightest part, which if you remember the beginning of the video, his dreads do come all the way down, so it appears that he has a lighter front row. I don't believe that he ever had one set in. Some people, it looks like their front row is like, it's almost like they got waves in the front and then dreads in the back. His is natural, so all we can do is not cut into the long hair and set it the right way. Now, as you can tell for the lineups, I have been using these Coccos quite a bit. I do enjoy to use them for lineups, but if you push just a little hard, I do feel like it makes the skin a little red. Like right here on these sidebars specifically, I've noticed that I can get my clients red. Now, they always say there's no irritation, so it's kind of one of those things, like you got to make sure that when you're lining somebody up, you ain't putting too much pressure. But anybody can fall victim to making that mistake, just trying to make sure they get that line as sharp as possible. So right here, I'm gonna take a step back and make sure it's straight. You see there's not much hair to work with, so what I do is I put my hand about on their eyebrow and I kind of get down on their level, because you wanna make sure you can see it from their perspective. Because you can make a hairline look straight in your opinion, but the way the client looks at their own hair, like imagine looking at yourself in a rear view mirror, right? You can kind of see, like you're looking up at yourself almost. So that's the way that your hairline looks when you look at yourself. So that's the way that I approach it when I do other people as well. And then for the beard, I am dry shaving the top line. There's not much overgrowth at the top part of it, so it's pretty easy to go. And then same thing all the way around the hairline. We want to make sure that we are pulling the skin to create some tension, and we are having it at an angle so we are not cutting into the skin. If you guys are wondering, I am using the blue Tomb 45 triple cartridge razor, and the razors I'm currently using are called Raw and Uncut. I usually just get these razors from Sean at the shop. Sean cuts hair, but he usually gets them at the show, and he recommended me that these are the ones he likes, and I've been using them for about a year now. I can say that I do think that there's something to them, because I feel like there's less irritation. I often ask my clients, I'm like, does this feel like it's pulling or not, being that I do dry shave a lot. So I just like to know that, and that seems to be the feedback I get from my clients, is that it feels crispy and it's not pulling any hairs out. It's just gliding through nicely. So here we're gonna start with some enhancement. We're gonna take our color card and we're just gonna apply a little bit to the edges, because like I said, his hairline's a little light. Now, light does not mean receding. Obviously, he's definitely not receding. So we just wanna add a little bit of enhancement to darken up the sides. And as you can tell, I'm really spraying the card first to make sure that it is coming out at an even level. And then just the top part of the no drip is dusting the hairline. And the thing is with enhancement, guys, like I don't always do enhancements, but when I do, I want it to look subtle. I want it to look natural. I feel like I executed that on this particular haircut. So let me know what you guys think. Like I was saying, guys, leave me a like, comment, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate everybody that took the time to make it to this part of the video. It's CutsbyCoast, and I'm out of here.